kind of stuff. So, all right. Any questions for me?
It's all right, dude.
Are we good? All right, I'm ready. Well, hey, everybody. This is Chad Jordan, Director of Marketing at Sport Clips. I am in beautiful Mountain Dew-free Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Just kidding. They do have Mountain Dew here. It's just hard to find. And I've been having a blast today going around visiting a bunch of stores in this area. It's one of the best markets in the country for Sport Clips. And but there's one reason that I was drawn to Pittsburgh in this area, and it was because the winning store for our national, actually international, because Canada was involved, our international first ever Sport Clips Karaoke Battle. The winning store is from this area, so I just had to get out here, meet with the store. We actually had pizza. Anyways, we'll talk about all the stuff that we did. But without further ado, what I want to do is introduce, or actually I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves, all right? So that way we can hear the microphones get picked up. By the way, we have a very special guest that we'll introduce along the way as well. You may hear him chime in whenever he feels like it, because this is Wesley's podcast today. So we're just going to roll with it. We have an 11-month-old bundle of joy with us in the room. But so ladies, do me a favor, AJ, and I guess Wesley, if he feels like chiming in. Why don't we go around? This is PA103 from, is it Cranberry Township? Is it a township? Is that what it is? In Pennsylvania. Why don't we go through, I'll start with, Kayla, why don't we start from that way and go all the way back around to Maria, okay? So we'll start with you. Why don't you tell me your name and your role at the store or stores, as the case may be.
Yeah. My name's Kayla, and I'm the Director of Operations here in Western PA for Al and AJ stores, and then I also do the ambassador team here. So.
Awesome. Okay, next.
I'm Jen. I've been managing the Cranberry location for 2 years now. I've been at that location for going on 11 years.
Okay, and who's with you? Who are you holding? Who's sitting in your lap?
This is my son, Wesley.
You looked around like, who is with me? That's what a mom does, right? You just forget he's a part of you now. Who is with you?
So this is Wesley. He's 11 months old, and he's a good boy for the most part.
He's been a great boy, and all day yes, he is. He's a star, and we'll get to what his role in the video is in just a minute. But we'll keep going over here to Robin.
I'm Robin. I am assistant manager at the Cranberry store. I've been there for 2 years, and I actually am going on 2 years as being an ambassador for Sport Clips as well.
Awesome. But really, most importantly, auntie to Wesley, right?
Auntie to Wesley.
Yeah, when I walked in the store today, she wouldn't let him go. All right, next up, featuring the vocals of this young lady back here is...
Hi, I'm Brielle. I work at the Cranberry location. I've been there for about 3 years. I'm also a lead brand ambassador for Sport Clips, and I'm also an area coach.
An area coach, and I don't know if you're a professional singer or whatever, but she's the one.
Worship team at church, no doubt about it.
All right. So
cars and showers.
She's comfortable. She's comfortable behind the microphone. Let's put it that way.
There's not much that Brielle can't do.
Yeah. All right, next.
I'm Heather. I'm an area manager and also work with the ambassador team.
Excellent. Yes, sir.
My name is AJ Rodriguez. I'm one of the team leaders here in Pittsburgh. My dad and I have most of the stores here in Western PA.
Excellent. We'll get back to AJ later. And last but not least.
Hi, I'm Maria, the area coach for Western Pennsylvania.
And?
In West Virginia.
But I meant, how about an artistic team member?
Member.
Okay.
I'm representing my team here.
Yeah,
right now,
I know.
So
We're gonna
talk too much about.
Don't worry. She's gonna have her
But
own podcast, her own dedicated. She's in the Hall of Fame as well. So anyway, so what we're doing today, if you haven't gathered, is we want to find out a little bit about the experience PA103 had in the karaoke battle. And the reason we wanted to put it in podcast format is because we will most likely, 99.9% sure, do this again, probably for next year's Huddle. Whether we have a themed event or whatever we do, that stuff has to be decided. But I'm sure PA103 will again be in the running for the title. So if you haven't seen their video or heard it yet, I will make sure to put a link to the podcast. Please go do that right now. In fact, push pause on the podcast. Go do that, because you will not be sorry. In fact, you might not ever come back to the podcast. You might just put this on repeat and want to watch it and listen to it over and over again. We got to find a way to make these downloadable, the tracks, so that people can put them in iTunes and make it a ringtone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So why don't I don't want to give away. Who wants to do? Jen, do you want to do the talking on what the video is about, what the song is that you chose, just for, so it's not me carrying this. Can you fill us in a little bit on what song you picked, how it was inspired, all that kind of stuff?
I can't really take the credit for it. It was kind of like a group effort.
Okay, but you're the manager, so what did your team put together?
So we picked Dirty Dancing.
Mm-hmm.
What was the two that we chose? It was Dirty Dancing
And
and
the other one was
Michael Jackson.
It was
Michael
a Michael
Jackson
Jackson song.
Thriller.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So this is the one that we picked, and it was a group effort of putting the lyrics together. And Brielle
Was there somebody who was a big fan of Dirty Dancing and kind of knew, all right, we can crush this?
I've never seen the movie.
Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert! It has a happy ending. Okay.
And with Brielle, she can sing, so we put some lyrics together and she nailed it.
What is the we put? I mean, did you guys all come together as a team and write the lyrics yourselves at a,
we were all
was it a pep
texting
rally?
each other
Okay.
and just kind of changing things. And
One of the area managers
It
was
took all of
awesome.
10 minutes for
Shannon.
Shannon. Yeah, she's not in the room right now, but Shannon wrote the lyrics. One of our
Oh,
other
she's
area
not here?
managers.
Okay, but
Yeah.
You saw her.
was she
earlier
there
this
that day?
morning.
Okay, so she's
Yeah.
at, all right. I'll make sure to go back and give her a
But
shout out.
she wrote all the lyrics, I think, for most of the stories. that we
She's
had.
so good. It was
She's
like
a
10
leader.
minutes
Oh.
later.
She's a
It was
leader.
like-
So all four of our.
Yeah.
Okay, because you guys had the most submissions of any.
Yeah.
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 I don't know how many exactly we had, but Shannon wrote the lyrics.
Oh,
for
that's
all.
amazing. Oh my
She's
gosh,
so
how
good.
creative.
So-
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. And then
She spit out the lyrics in 10 minutes.
Heather tweaked them.
Heather tweaked them and put all the organization together, and then Brielle was the featured
Mhm.
actress and singer.
then
Yeah.
AJ just topped it off.
And
Right.
I got dragged with the story. I didn't even know
Yeah.
Oh, so they tricked you into coming and being part, like
Heather
you
told me to be at the store at a certain time, and I
He
didn't
texted
show
was like,
up.
how soon
college
can you
shirt.
eat a cranberry?
Okay.
And
Wait.
can you bench 140?
Yeah, because you didn't just. I mean, so anyways, quickly, there's the iconic moment in the movie and then also in the video where Patrick Swayze lifts. Anyways, AJ did his Patrick Swayze impersonation.
And I also, like Jen, have never seen the movie, so.
Uh-huh.
they
I've
were-
seen enough
they
clips
were
on
prep-
YouTube.
They were
There's a
prepping me with
video.
YouTube videos the
Yeah.
night before.
Okay.
And we told him to wear a collared.
Right. Yeah, we're
black
buttoned
shirt.
down. Right. But I mean, so the question I had, obviously, when I saw it for the first time, it's like if you go back and watch that clip of the end of the movie and all that kind of stuff. It's almost like a shot-for-shot remake, I mean, you had them all strutting in together down the aisle and kind of all that stuff. So who is somebody watching the clip and writing down, the choreography, here's what we have to do here?
When
How
he
does
got there, we already had clips pulled up, and we were like, okay, watch this, no, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But,
kind of like little clips at a time, and then we just put them all together in the full video.
Mhm.
So it was nice because then we just kind of pick and chose which things we could easily recreate in a sports clip setting,
Mhm.
and then just kind of went from there. So it was fun. It was really creative and
Yes.
And we were
Very
busy.
entertaining.
Like, we were
I know,
busy.
that's
It was like
my
a normal
okay.
busy
Here's my
day.
question. Here's why I'm at. Here's why I'm thinking, because most of the clips, if you actually go back and watch them, most of them you could tell it's nighttime. Like the stores recorded them after hours, like logical people would have done, and yet yours you could tell it was daytime, so it meant you had to be open, right? It was daylight hours. So how are you able to film all this in the midst of? And by the way, I've been to your store. I've seen your performance board. We talked about all that kind of stuff. You guys rock and roll. Like there's never a dull moment. And even when I was there right before lunch, it was crazy busy. So how are you able to squeeze in the recording of all this stuff around clients, around people working?
Got to get the clients involved.
Yeah, that's true, and you guys did.
Clients loved it.
Yeah.
They were really into it.
They all
we'd
wanted
walk
to
in
be
the
in
door and be
it.
like,
Uh-huh.
what is happening
Yeah.
back there?
Well, they
And then
know
they
it's
got
not a
into it.
normal thing,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's they
We had a
looking
client.
around, question what's going on, and Yeah, go ahead. One of them was sitting in the chair that was.
Yeah, he was cheesing the whole time, waiting for somebody to
Uh-huh.
offer him to be in.
Yeah, this is his big break, guys.
Yeah.
He's just waiting now. He's waiting by his phone. Hollywood's gonna call.
I might need to tag him in this.
It's not a very big store, and it does over 700 clients a week, so it's not like it's. We didn't know what the client flow was gonna be like.
Right.
That day.
Yeah, no, and to get and that's so. The reason we're doing this podcast because I want to get out. Obviously, you guys won. We'll talk about how you won and that whole process, so that people that weren't at Huddle can be in on it. But what I want people to get out of this, especially stylists and team members that are going to try to do this again next year. Not that I want your secret. You don't have to give away your secrets, but one of the things that y'all did well was you introduced clients into the video. You got them participating. You had a team leader involved, which again was rare. That's fine. Wesley's on a tear. We're gonna get to Wesley. We're gonna get to you in a minute, buddy. You're the star of the show, obviously. But what do you think are some of the other key elements that you guys were able to introduce besides great vocals and all that kind of stuff? What do you think really showed through to your video that really resonated with people that watch it?
I feel like Danny did the editing, and that made a big difference too. It's just how well put together it was.
Do you know how was it iMovie or what did they use?
It was iMovie.
Okay, who did that?
Danny, she's not here.
Oh,
either.
yeah,
Area manager.
Yeah.
Okay,
She's
okay.
another area manager.
All right, did she do all the 4 or 5 videos for you
Pretty
guys?
much.
to
Put her on a
edit?
lot.
All right, so obviously the secret here.
We designated everybody.
Yes,
to
exactly.
there.
Get people in their lanes and have people do what they do best.
Yeah.
So you guys actually and the editing, yeah, it was really well done. Not that these have to look like Hollywood actually produced them, but it does make it easier to watch, to share. Makes people want to share it on Facebook or social media, stuff like that. All right, so you had people do that. You had somebody help with the lyrics. So here's a question: was it overwhelming? Did anybody feel like this is too much?
No.
No, it was just
It's
fun.
a-
We were
it's a-
laughing.
Oh my gosh, we were cracking up the whole time.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be fun.
I mean,
Especially
that's really what I'm trying to get across here.
Just like nosedived.
It's like you guys. It doesn't. I didn't. There's some podcasts I record, and I'm talking to people that are dealing with illness or addiction, and it's emotional, right? And we have a box of Kleenex ready during the podcast. I didn't bring Kleenex because this podcast that we're recording today, you guys had a ton of fun doing this thing with your team, and it shows that I think one of the reasons that you guys won because you like being together and you like having fun,
Yeah.
and this is a reinforcing kind of experience for your team. It's just really captures the mood of the store. Can you guys? Let's see. Today we came out. And you had, I don't know, how many team members were actually on? 3 or 4? Yeah, there were
3.
There were 3. But you had, it was amazing because, so I walk in the door. By the way, the grand prize was $500. Have we talked about do you guys know how you're going to spend that $500 yet?
We're going to do a team pep rally for the store.
Okay, it's not on diapers? So, no, okay, I was talking.
Wesley comes
All right, okay, all right, so a
Wesley
really
up in a
nice.
juice box.
A really nice pep rally. I know he's gonna take that microphone, so we might as well. It's fine. So you got $500. You were supposed to get Krispy Kreme donuts, but there is no Krispy Kreme around here. So we got, what was it called?
Peace, love, and little donuts.
All right, so shout out to Peace, Love, and Little Donuts.
Yeah.
But they're little, but they pack a punch, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
dense and
Best donuts
and
I've ever
they're really good. So we did pizza, we did donuts. They were great. They had a table. They brought out a table, and so we all got to kind of hang out there. Your whole team. Was anybody missing?
There was a few
There was a
missing.
few
You were?
Yeah, we were a big team.
No kidding. Yeah. So I felt like the girls were just coming out of the woodwork. So we had a full team there. Oh, and then behind us. Oh, you can't. I'm sorry. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see this big check that came all the way from California. Wink, wink. That is the. By the way, I don't know. What do you have? A Wells Fargo around here? Or how you're gonna cash that? But we'll figure out how you're supposed to cash that. So the store won $500. Anyways, an amazing experience for the store to come together. And what I really wanted to get out of today's podcast is you know, I want to make sure you guys had fun doing it. The experience of today, and us all getting, I mean, it was electric when I came in there today, and I could feel the energy of your store. It feels like you're crushing it. Do you feel like this experience brought you together? Has it been a highlight? Is it going to be in the highlight reel of your year-end parties or whatever you're going to do?
100%.
And we just Wesley got sick of hearing me, so he just left. But for those of you that are watching on YouTube, you got to see a bunch of him. You know what? We'll get him for the photo op that we put with the podcast if he's still awake. But Wesley is, so there's that famous line. Somebody quote me the line from Dirty Dancing.
Nobody puts baby
Okay.
in a corner.
All right. So no one puts baby in a corner. So their video starts off, and to be honest, that's the very beginning of the video, right? I didn't hear it. Like when the first time I saw your video, I just saw the baby in the corner, but doesn't somebody speak over it? Nobody puts baby in the corner. Is that you? Who does that? So I had to go back and listen because I just thought you did it like as a sly little whatever, and then realized that you guys actually put him in the corner. So today he showed up. He was wearing the same thing, right? That he wore in the video, close to it. He probably messed up the first one. He might have outgrown it by now. Okay.
He was already out of it. We forced him into it.
So here's another breaking news. If you want your video to win, get a baby in it. Everybody loves a baby. So who was at Huddle in here? We have quite a few people that were at Huddle.
Yeah.
Right.
I think everybody
Sorry.
but
Okay,
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah, just
okay,
not me.
okay. It's gonna happen, Robin.
You will.
So now let's talk about Huddle. So here's how the process worked. We had 50 stores do a karaoke video. And by the way, the karaoke contest was you got to pick any song, literally any song in the world. We had people picking Full House theme song and Whitney Houston songs and country songs and a bunch of stuff. Pick any song and sport clipify it. Change up the lyrics and make it relevant to sport clips somehow, some way. And so obviously this store, PA103 in Cranberry, they picked the Dirty Dancing song, but we had the Huddle team reduced the 50 down to top 5. By the way, if there had been a top 6, should I just say it? Should I say it, Maria?
Sure.
PA121 was the 6th one.
Awesome.
So they did the Spice Girls song, yeah. Tell me what you want. So, but their challenge was it came in so late. It was really towards the end of and we had already kind of started streaming it down. And for us to bump one of the top 5 for a late entry was rough. So, all right, newsflash. Next year, get your submissions in as early as you can to give the team time enough.
And that was half the thing too. Once we got one of them out, I think.
Yeah.
126 or 111 was the first one, and then people wanted to outdo them.
Right.
So we kept going with it. We made like 6 of them.
I love that. I love the competitive nature of the whole thing too. I mean, this is sport clips. You know, it's supposed to be competitive. So the top 5, what we did at Huddle was we revealed which the top 5 were, and brought up the manager. Jen, did you come up? You didn't come up, did you? Did Brielle? Did you come up both times?
I did.
You did? Oh, I didn't. The second day I went to you.
Came to me,
right? Yeah. So and then I tried to get AJ Al Rodriguez to come up, but he didn't want to either. Anyways, that's an inside joke, which I don't need to repeat because. All right. Anyways, basically, I called AJ Al in front of 3,500 people, and nobody corrected me because I was in the moment. And anyway, so.
In his defense, my name on Facebook is Alden Rodriguez.
Right. So when I look at people, I see their social media name. That's what goes through my mind. So we called each manager up and we showed the clip. Do you remember what number clip you guys were? The one that when I showed up, you guys were the 5th. You guys were the 5th one, and and we were only supposed to show the first minute of every clip because we had you should see the running clock that is up there reminding me how much time we have.
David pointed it out to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we'll get to that in a minute. So we get to your clip, and I bring Brielle up, and they cue the lights to come to me around the 45-second mark to talk, but I knew there's a scene in the movie, and then there's a scene in their clip where Patrick Swayze aka AJ lifts up. All right, and is it Jennifer Connell? What's her name? I can't remember the actress. It's not Jennifer.
Baby, but
Okay, let's call her Baby. Anyways, lifts her up. Well, that came at in your video came at the 1.5 minute mark. So I had to give the looping, just keep going signal to the production team because that was what I felt was the highlight of your video. And they didn't, since we started it right on time so we could see Wesley. That was our dilemma. Do we cut him out and just kind of go into the song already, or we wanted that to be the trigger? Everybody seeing Wesley, you guys knew it would be your video. So we went all the way to the end. And the reaction up till then had been great. People were clapping and everything. But when the jump happened, that was next level. Robin, I'm sorry, they know what it was like.
That's okay.
It was the roof. If the roof could have come off, it would have gone off of the place because it was so priceless.
EJ texted me right after. He said, "You guys just broke the huddle."
Yeah. And that was, and this funny thing is, that was before Huddle officially kicked off. That was the half-hour entertainment portion, if you will. So again, here's my tip for next year for anybody. Get your really eye-dropping thing in a minute before instead of a minute and a half. You guys didn't know that. No one knew that we were only going to cut it to a minute. We didn't know it till we got there and realized we got to show all these clips. How are we going to do it? But that was, the highlight. And then, so we have at Huddles, our national convention, we have an MC, David Wilk, who does an amazing job year after year. And AJ, tell me, how quickly after that whole video happens does he get to you because walk me through that.
The stage,
yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, he's on the stage doing his thing, and that was not planned out at all. I didn't know he was going to call me on stage. We were sitting close to the front, so it was pretty quick to walk up on stage, and then he made me do the jump. I thought I was going to fall over and
Well, because the way he did it, you guys, how many times did you have to practice the jump?
Four or five.
Yeah.
Okay. And you never dropped her? Or broke anything in the store?
I have short-term disability, just in case.
That
was the thing holding me.
It takes them a whole summer to get that jump.
Yeah.
down. A whole
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
And she did it in 3 tries. That's talent.
Well,
Both of them.
David Wilk, he sells it, the comedy kind of, so how hard is it for you to balance him and kind of everything without, because
He's a lot shorter than people think.
He is. Yeah. He's got that Tom
David,
Cruise.
if you ever see this.
He's got that Tom Cruise thing going on, right? Yeah, he wears lifts and all that.
He wears it well on stage, but he wasn't overly heavy.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't ever try it with a guy, so.
Just putting that on record. So, but no, that's what EJ's right. That broke Huddle. That for me, I'll always remember that part. Both the reaction on the actual video and then you actually doing it with David.
I thought he was going to make me do it with Brielle because we were both sitting.
We were
Right.
both like,
Yeah.
oh man, should I start stretching? Are we going to be forced to do this
he
here?
did it himself. He wanted it.
Yeah, definitely funnier with him.
Oh yeah,
doing it.
it was great.
And then didn't he pop a button off?
Yeah.
Off of his coat. So, anyways, it was great. But let's talk about the other star, Wesley. Whose idea was it to put him and feature him, Jen, in this video?
It was Heather's idea.
Okay.
She said you have to get Wesley put him in the corner.
Well, can we bring him in on cue? All right.
Like I said, I'd
Right
never
on
seen
cue.
the movie,
Uh-huh.
so I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean put him in the
There's
corner?
no babies in the corners.
in the corner.
So that's
Yeah.
Wesley. Oh, Wesley immediately sees some food to eat and grab.
We were actually in between the idea of getting sporty
Yeah.
and putting sporty in the corner
Oh.
and just saying mixing
Oh,
it and
right.
then changing it to be sport clips and say nobody put sporty in the corner. But then he's just too cute.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we went
definitely.
with the baby.
Yeah.
He had the sport clip shirt.
And he had the sport clip
Yeah.
shirt and he was too cute not to use.
Yeah, he's a handful, but he's their secret weapon. So what I'm hoping today,
Back to that.
I'm hoping everybody has gotten a taste of what it takes to win, to compete, to put a good video together. Do you guys have any more hints? I know you don't want to give the whole farm away here, but anything else that you'd recommend, or can you somebody put a compelling reason why? Like, so we had 50 stores. That's great. Out of 1,800. So I don't know why the other 1,750 didn't do it. That maybe they thought it would take too much time, or they didn't want to come in after hours, or whatever.
Well,
but
a lot of the people and the feedback that I see from afar was they were either scared or didn't want to do it, or was like, no, I'm not, too shy to do that.
Yeah.
Right, Kayla? Like,
Yeah, I would say a lot of the team members, they were scared to do it. They didn't want to be on camera, but once we started taping and doing it, literally every store just had a blast. It was so fun. They were cracking up. They loved it. So
I feel like next year, maybe y'all can give me a hint here. What do you think? What if we like literally threw it out as a challenge? Like one store, it's kind of like the ice bucket challenge or one of those things, where one store does it and then they challenge another store to finish it. So I think maybe that's, or maybe one market does it, a store's in a market and they challenge another market or something. So we'll keep refining all this kind of stuff, but thank you. I mean, I'd be home stuck in my house in California right now if it wasn't for you guys doing the contest and winning and bringing me out here. And we've had a blast so far, and we're gonna visit a bunch more stores. Actually, a bunch of AJ and Al stores are in the Pittsburgh market, one of the best countries, like I said, the best markets in the country. And just happened to do a lot of karaoke videos. So, what coincidence? Hey, if you're a team leader out there and you're looking for your stores to skyrocket, do a karaoke video. It obviously works. But just no, we appreciate them. You guys, you're literally Hall of Famers now. So you're in the Hall of Fame. You have the grand check. I don't know if you can frame that thing or what you can do with it. But the check in the background, and what an experience. So thank you all for being on here, carving some time out for me.
Thank you for coming.
All right, our pleasure. And we'll hey, maybe we'll do it again next year.
Yes.
All right, thanks everybody for listening. Until next week. See you then. Bye.